Hello everybody, I am Miss Amira. I am a leadership, boundary setting, and mindfulness coach, and my passion is helping people discover how to sit in and with discomfort in a way that promotes self-love and curiosity, even in the bullshit. I just did a workshop at 2 different locations on Wednesday and Saturday, and I had a lot of people reaching out about having this workshop online. And I thought it was important to share the information. I got some pretty great feedback, and I also realized in doing this workshop, I want to do lots more of them. So leaning more away from one-on-one coaching. If you want to work with me one-on-one, it's going to be structured a little bit different. However, workshops and trainings are going to start being the forefront of what I do as a coach. So I wanted to share the information. I'm going to be reading the information that I went over in the training, and we'll do some journal prompting. So if you're watching this and you want to participate fully in the experience, I invite you to pause this, go get a pen, paper, a snack, something to drink, a warm blanket, pillows, just a space where you can be super comfortable. And if you can, step away from the kids and the family, for 30 minutes or so, just to be able to focus and have this time for you. That would also be great. So in any of the things that I hold or teach, I'm always going to acknowledge the land that we are on. So I wanted to do a land acknowledgement, and I will do that still. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional and unceded lands of the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation, the Yakama Nation, the Nez Perce Tribe, and the Winnipesaukee people. We honor their enduring presence, stewardship, and connection to this land, and we commit to carrying that respect into the work we do here. All right, so let's get into it. So who I am and why this work. So my name is Amira Stanley. I'm an executive life leadership coach. My passion is helping people set boundaries, listen to their bodies, and live more authentically, even in the midst of life's challenges. I became a coach because I knew what it was like to carry physical and mental pain, patterns, and old stories that make us feel small. Through my own journey of healing and self-discovery, I learned that what we hide in shame can actually become the doorway to a deeper connection and love. That's what I offer others, tools to sit with themselves with curiosity and care, even in the hardest moments. I chose to begin the next chapter of my coaching here in the Tri-Cities by hosting this workshop because I believe community healing happens when we create spaces to be real, tender, honest together. This is my way of planting roots and inviting all of you into the journey of compassion and awareness with me. I'd love it if you're watching. Tell me who you are, where you're from, and why you decided to even push play on this and take the journey. I offer that in the comments, and if you want to private message me about it, you can. So I want to transition into suffering. And before we begin, I want to talk about what suffering really means. So in Buddhism, suffering, or dukkha, it's D-U-K-K-H-A, is the universal experience of unease, dissatisfaction, and struggle. So let me read that again. Suffering is the universal experience of unease, dissatisfaction, and struggle. It shows up when we cling to what we want, resist what we don't want, or expect life to always be easy. So, in layman's terms, what suffering is trying to force what's not happening to happen. That is added suffering that we do to ourselves. Holding on to expectation, thinking that life has to be perfect before things are good. That is all suffering. When we resist discomfort, we create even more suffering. But when we turn toward it with awareness and compassion, we can begin to release the struggle and find more peace. That's what this workshop is about. Exploring our shadows and toxic traits with compassion, so that instead of being trapped by them, we can transform our relationship with ourselves. So, we've talked about suffering and how resisting discomfort only creates more struggle. One of the ways we learn to face this struggle is through shadow work. Shadow work is the practice of turning toward the parts of ourselves that we usually hide, reject, or ignore. These shadows often show up as patterns, triggers, toxic traits, not because we're bad, but because at some point, those patterns helped us survive. By bringing awareness and compassion to our shadows, we begin to loosen their hold. Instead of being controlled by them, we can learn from them. Shadow work is really about remembering that the parts we push away are still part of us, and they deserve compassion too. So, this is where the breath comes in. Our breath is our anchor, and it helps us stay present as we explore harder truths. So as you're doing shadow work or any type of trauma work, it's really important that you have tools to help you regulate your body, okay? And the breath is a great way to start putting those seeds of awareness in your mind about how to keep our body regulated. So, when we get triggered or when our shadows arise, our breath is what brings us back to our bodies. Shallow breathing keeps us stuck in survival mode, but deep, intentional breathing tells the nervous system we are safe. So before we go any further into our shadows, let's practice using the breath as a grounding tool. Okay, so before we go any deeper, it's important that we have tools to bring us back to center. The breath is always with us, and when we use it intentionally, it can steady the mind and calm the body. We're going to start with simple practice called the 4 square breath. It's gentle, easy to remember, and a powerful way to signal your nervous system that you are safe and present. So the 4 square breath looks like this. You inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. You hold your breath for 4 seconds. And you exhale for 4 seconds. And you hold your breath at the bottom. So it looks like okay, inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. And exhale through the mouth. I think I messed up in the beginning there. I apologize about that. Another one is the 4 square. I'm sorry, the 4-7. So you're inhaling through the nose for 4 seconds and you're exhaling through your mouth for 7 seconds. So you're elongating that exhale, pushing all the stale air out, allowing yourself to fully let out all the old oxygen. Ready? So inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale 4 seconds. Exhale for 7. One last time, in through your nose. Okay. All right. So, notice how your body feels after those breaths. The nervous system often shifts quickly when we give it steady, intentional patterns to follow. Now that we've used the breath to anchor and calm ourselves, let's deepen this grounding by listening even more closely to the body. Breath helps us regulate, and somatic practice helps us release and move what's stuck. Together, we're going to explore how emotions show up in the body, and we can respond with presence and compassion. This practice will give you another tool for nurturing and returning to baseline when you feel triggered or overwhelmed. Okay, so I just want to do a little bit of a trigger warning. If you are someone who is already, if you're watching this and you are someone who's never dealt with any type of trauma wound through therapy, psychotherapy, I am not a therapist, I'm a coach. I'm a great accompaniment to therapy. And I'm not afraid of dealing with anyone one-on-one who has a lot of emotional and triggering things. However, when you're by yourself doing this without a professional or someone that knows what they're doing, it could be scary. So it's important that if you're going to do this practice, that you're in a space where you can move through something that could potentially come up in a safe manner, or hold off until you can find someone who's trained in somatic work that can help you move through it. Okay, so let's practice listening to our bodies. Sometimes emotions like sadness, anger, or fear can feel overwhelming. Instead of pushing them away, we're going to gently notice them and let our body guide us back to balance. So when you're in an emotional state, whether it's fear, anger, sadness, you're going to first notice the emotion. What's going on with me? I'm feeling some type of way. What is this I feel? Do I want to cry? Do I want to punch a pillow? What's going on? So say it's anger, right? You take a moment, you scan your body, you notice if there's emotion present, and then you ask yourself, where in my body do I feel it? I always talk about, usually for me, it's my throat, my chest, my stomach. When I'm feeling irritated, agitated, triggered, you ask yourself, where do I feel this in my body? And this is prior to reacting first. This step is to help you get through a difficult situation without allowing the emotion to take over and hurt you. emotionally or physically, or someone else. So this practice is to be done prior to you popping off or prior to you reacting to your trigger. Okay, so you're listening to your body, you're saying, what is the emotion? You're saying, where do I feel it in my body? And you're taking notice without judgment. You're going to place your hand on that area, whether it's your chest, your shoulders, your throat. You're placing a hand on it. Okay, wherever you feel that sensation, place your hand over that area. And remember, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you feeling the way you feel. There's nothing wrong with you feeling angry. There's nothing wrong with you feeling sad. There's nothing wrong with you. We're acknowledging it without judging it. If we're crying, we're acknowledging it. I'm crying. I'm sad. I feel heartbroken. I feel angry. I feel pissed. I feel so fucking confused. And I'm acknowledging it. And I'm holding on to the space in my body where I feel it. And I'm acknowledging it. That's all we're doing. I feel sad. And you put your hand on the place where you feel sad in your body. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. And slowly exhale. You're just taking notice while breathing. Don't do anything else. You're just noticing what emotion, where in your body, and you're breathing. Notice what happens when you simply give that part of your body attention. Step 4, give the emotion expression. If this emotion had a sound or a small movement, what would it be? So if I'm angry and I'm holding my belly, and if I could imagine what a sound would be that I would make, maybe it's a balling up my fist and just rocking back and forth. Maybe that's the sensation. Maybe it's a sigh. Maybe it's a, maybe it's just using the facial expression of yelling, but not making any movement. And maybe it's using the voice and screaming loud. Allow yourself to feel the feeling, whatever's there. And even if it looks silly, who cares? Whoever you're with who's ever at your level enough to allow you to process this with them, it doesn't matter what you look like. We're not trying to look cute here. We're trying to allow the feeling to move through your body and process. Okay? So allow your body to shake, to move, to do whatever, to express in a safe way, just for a moment. It's very important that you do not allow yourself to stay here. If you are angry and frustrated and confused and sad, it's important to acknowledge the feeling. It's important to recognize the feeling in your body. It's important to breathe through and let it release. What is not okay is for you to hold on to it and stay at this level. This is where it could get tricky. This is where it can get scary if you're in a trauma response that is very difficult to get out of. That's why it's important to only do this work with someone who is comfortable and trained and educated about it. It's very important not to stay stuck here. Number 5 is transitioning out of the trigger. Now, rather than staying in the intensity of the emotion, let's shift. Bring your attention to another part of your body that feels good. Is it your head? Maybe your mouth? Your hands? A part of your body that feels good. And bring your attention to that part of your body. Step 6 is breathe into safety. Breathe into that good feeling area. Imagine it expanding. Each inhale feels that space, and each exhale spreads that calm through the rest of your body. Notice how your body feels right now compared to when you began. You've allowed your emotion to move, express it, and guided your body back to baseline. This is what regulation feels like. Giving space for the emotion, but also remembering you can return to balance. Okay, so we're gonna segue into journaling. So if you want to pause again at this point and get something to write. We've just given our bodies space to feel and release, and we've practiced what it means to return to balance. Now we're going to shift into reflection. Journaling is another way to process what's inside. It takes what can feel tangled or heavy in the body and gives it a safe space to land on the page. These prompts aren't about finding the right answers. They're about noticing with honesty, curiosity, and compassion. Write what comes, even if it's messy or uncomfortable. This is your space to meet yourself with truth and tenderness. So, the journal prompt questions are, number 1, what messages did you receive as a child about who you should be? What messages did you receive as a child about who you should be? The messages, if I look back at the messages that I received as a child, was that I was moody and too sensitive and I wasn't smart. Yeah, those are the type of messages that I remember as a child. Question number 2. When do my toxic traits show up most strongly? When do your toxic traits show up more strongly? For me, rejection. Feeling rejected, feeling someone just judging me without knowing me. Somebody really close to me, like my wife or my kids, being bullied or fucked with. Those things are triggers. Being around people that are narcissistic personalities is a huge trigger, and they show up for me in a way where the check-a-bitch queen comes out, right? I've retired the check-a-bitch queen, but I also recognize that sometimes she needs to come out, and now she knows to just come out and say what she needs to say, but I always have to make sure my body's regulated before she opens her mouth, because that is a trigger for me. So question number 1, what messages did I receive as a child about who I should be? Number 2, when do my toxic traits show up most strongly? And number 3 is, how might it empower me to recognize and name my shadows? How might it empower you to know what your shadows and your triggers are? How would that make you feel if you knew, A, you were aware of your trigger, you weren't ashamed of it, you weren't hiding it, you were acknowledging it and owning it with compassion? And also, you have tools to now regulate your own system. And mind you, when you are talking to somebody and you are having confrontation, it is helpful. And I know in the moment it is hard, even for me. It is helpful if you're looking at someone, a coworker or something, it is okay to take deep breaths. They don't need to know what you're doing to keep your nervous system calm. You could be just looking at them and listening and keeping your nervous system calm, recognizing with compassion that you may need to speak up, and then being able to speak in that moment with your body more regulated. Okay, so those are the 3 prompting questions. I would love to hear feedback. If anyone's comfortable, please feel free to leave it in the comment section of this video. And obviously I can't do, back and forth like I did in person. We went around the room and talked about stuff and shared stories and things like that. But as we close our time together, remember that this workshop is just the beginning. An hour and a half isn't enough to fully cover or uncover or transform our toxic traits and shadows, but it is enough to open a doorway into awareness and compassion. You've given yourself permission to pause, to breathe, to listen to your body, and to reflect honestly through journaling. These practices are seeds, and when tended with care, they can grow into lasting self-love, resilience, and inner peace. As you leave today, carry this reminder with you. Awareness is the first step. Compassion is the second. Even in the discomfort, I can return to balance. Thank you for showing up for yourself in the community. May you continue to meet your shadows with tenderness and live more fully, freely, and authentically. And for those I'm sorry, I needed to make sure. Okay, so for those who would like this extra affirmation, toxic traits do not make me unlovable. They make me human. My shadows are my teachers. And I want you to walk away from this space being very proud of yourself. If you stayed to the end, let me know if you did. And these are the types of workshops that I put together, and it is my pride and joy, so much so that that's why I'm choosing to step away from one-on-one coaching, unless it's a very committed, passionate person ready to, like, boom, I want to spend more time on doing group stuff and building workshops and trainings for businesses and companies and things like that. So stay tuned. I'll be doing more things in the community as far as workshop goes. The community workshops that I do hold are mostly going to be donation based. That'll be something that I choose to do for the community. I just want people to show up and get the information. I want to see everybody happy and healed, no matter if you have a religion, a faith, no matter what you have going on in your life, whether you have a therapist or don't. My passion is helping people figure out ways to really sit in the nitty-gritty of life and learn how to love yourself through it. And sometimes we need a little bit more than the average. So again, I'm Amira Stanley. My passion is helping people discover how to sit in and with discomfort in a way that promotes self-love and curiosity, even in the bullshit. I love what I do. Mwah.